Okay, so on the bottom of the intake here, we do have a couple of rubber seals. Look, again, I didn't get new ones in my pack. So I'm just going to clean these ones off a little bit, just using a bit of brake cleaner. They're pretty oily. But look, they're still soft and pliable, so I'm feeling quite comfortable to reuse them. Squeeze them back in. Okay, with those sitting in the right spot, let's put it back on the engine. Just making sure that everything's clean on here. We've got these two nuts on the outside. Be super careful not to drop them down the intake. Just give it a quick wipe over. We can reach over and drop this intake on. Just got the nuts sitting on there loosely first. Run these 3 bolts in the front. And these bigger ones sit up in on the top here. Now I am just coming around the back here. Now before I tighten anything up here, just make sure that your wiring hasn't just got into a position that's just not going to work for you, which is exactly what's happened here. Just pop that through. From memory, it looks like that one plugs into something there, so we just don't want it getting pinched up in there. And we've got this bracket here. I'm just going to sit this bracket on just loosely, but it just helps locate this intake in a slightly better position. And I'm just going to hold that just so it's sitting nice, and we'll zip these up loosely first. And we'll give it another pass. I'll just do them up a little bit tighter. With that, I'll now do these 2 bolts up on the back. Now before I put this sort of thermostat and coolant sort of pipe and stuff back on, I'm just going to zip the thermostat out. I just want to have a quick look at it. And much like what I expected, we've got a problem here. It's just a bit stuck in here at the moment, so let me just get it out. When you get a heap of oil in your cooling system, it often swells up rubbers and all sorts of things. And if we have a look here, this is like a sealing rubber that's inside our thermostat. And you can see there that it is just all swollen up and just become an absolute mess. So, okay, so I'm just going to leave that off for now. I'll order a new thermostat. We'll grab one in the morning. It's fairly late in the day here, so we're going to put it back together with that still open. It's fairly easy to get to that later on. But I do want to pop these seals out of here because my kit has new ones of these, so it's quite odd what's included and what's not included. Now again, I don't have a new O-ring for that big crossover tube that comes and fit into there, so I'm just going to put a little bit of silicone on it. So just a little bit of silicone on this, just because it's not a nice new seal. I'm still quite happy with it, but not as happy as it would be if it was a new one. I'm making a little bit of a mess here, but we'll tidy it up. And I'm just running a little bit in here as well. Just a fine layer. We'll just get these bolts. Sorry, we'll just get this in 2 nuts and a bolt off here. We've got a little bit of wiring, 1 bolt, 2 nuts off this side. Come and we'll bring this on. Just make sure as this goes on that it doesn't knock over or knock off that O-ring. Just sliding on nicely. Just a few brackets in the way here. Nut under there, another nut in up under here. Same on this side, we'll come in with a bolt under here. Let's see if we can get them with this. And I might just start getting some of these brackets back in place here. These 2 hoses back on. Look, you can usually tell once everything's lined up which hose has got to go where just by the length and the shape of them. That one. I've got this bracket here and this bolt here. That one down. Got a vent hose that sits up here. Clamp this off. Look, at this point I would suggest you just start going through and having a look at where all the different brackets are, what hoses might need to be going connected back. Just work really methodically sort of around the block, making sure everything is tightened up. So everything here is all sort of tightened up. I'm fairly happy with that. Bugger. Okay, for those that are watching really closely, I have just made a small mistake here. I forgot to do something. Hey, that happens. These plugs here need to be put on before this intake goes on. So before you screw this down, these are the plugs that go to the fuel injectors that are just in underneath here. There's no way I'm going to be able to reach in and plug them in. So I'm just going to zip this intake back off, plug them in and zip it back on. Okay, that's fixed that mistake. Look, it only took a few minutes. Just painful that I forget stuff sometimes. Okay, let's just keep working and secure this wiring down how it should. So we've got a little plug here and our bolt. Okay, if you're ever not certain exactly where things go, just leave it for now. You'll be able to figure it out later. I'm pretty confident that this sat back up in here. I could always look at my old footage, I just haven't bothered. I'm pretty sure it's sat up in here though. Now it's nearly knock-off time here for me, so I'm wanting just to reseal this sump to give that silicone a really good chance to dry overnight, because tomorrow I want to drop this engine back in and get it up and running. So I've just left those last few things on the top for the morning. I've also got some exhaust manifolds and stuff to put on. But I do want to just clean this up and get the sump on, and then that can be my evening done. So I just want to clean up this old gasket. It is quite brittle, it's breaking away. So I'll just get my plastic scraper again. Just going to use a bit of brake clean as well, just to make sure things are tidy. If you're very careful, you can use a little bit of a Scotch-Brite pad, but just be super careful. You don't want to be taking any surface of this aluminium away. So just making sure too that this surface of the sump is nice and clean. and all the old gaskets gone. I'm just going to run a nice bead of silicone all the way around. Go on the inside of the hole. I'm probably putting a bit too much on here, thinking about it, but let's see how we go. Now I'm just going to give it a little smush down. I'm just going to go straight over the holes. We'll clean them up in a moment. If there's any thin spots, just add a little bit extra. If there's too much, just wipe it off. I'm just going to come along and just wipe off any excess on the inside, because it's just going to end up inside the engine and I don't really want that. Just going to quickly clean out the holes with a screwdriver. Don't have to get it all out, but just want to get a big chunk of it away from the bolt hole. Otherwise it ends up in all the threads. That just becomes a pain. I'm going to let that sit for a minute while I just do a final clean on the actual engine. And super important here just to make sure that the grid, or the screen, sorry, on the oil pump is nice and clean. There's nothing caught up in there. Everything here is looking fairly good. Now where this front case meets this sort of lower sump and there's a join here, I am just going to put a little bit of extra silicone, because it is a point where it can easily kind of weep out from. So just want a bit of extra there. Make sure you've got a couple of bolts ready to go, because you don't want it to wiggle around too much. I've just sat the one on that side. Let's reach around here and see if we can get the one on this side. Just as you do this up, just make sure it's nice and even. You don't want to kind of squeeze all of your silicone out. Now I'm just sort of doing them up and just until everything just sort of touches together. And look, as I'm starting to do it up finger tight, you can start to see a little bead splurting out. That's okay. Now read your instructions. Some silicone say to kind of leave it like that for a little bit and then tighten it down 20 minutes later or whatever. Just read your instructions, make sure you get it right. Okay, I'm just going to go around and do mine up tight. Just go around evenly, I'm not going to do it all in one go. We'll get a nice little bit that's sort of just splurting out. I don't want to over tighten it at this stage, because you can just squeeze out everything that you've put in there. Okay, I'm just going to leave that for a few minutes and then I'll tighten it up again. Like I said, read the instructions for your particular product. Some dry quick, some dry slow. Okay, it's been about another 15-20 minutes. I'm just going to go through and do a final pass now, nice and firm on all the bolts. Just because of the angle I've got mine on, I'm not going to zigzag it or anything. I'm literally just going to go around and do them all in order. Now while it hasn't fully hardened, I am just going to give it just a bit of a smear off, just to tidy it up a little bit. Don't want it looking too terrible. Remember, it's not this bead on the outside that seals things up anyway, so So I'm happy just to neaten it up a little bit. Now the engine casing and stuff itself here is all still quite greasy. I'm going to clean it off once I've got it in the car. I just didn't want to make a mess on my benches here. Now also, as another little tip here, I am going to just let this engine down a little bit. I've just got it supported by the engine crane. But once I've resealed a sump, I really don't like sitting the weight of the engine on it. I've always found over the years that if I do that, it often will re-break this seal that's sitting here, because the pressure that these bolts hold the sump on with versus the actual sump sitting down on itself is not the same. And look, I've just been caught out a few times after resealing a sump, sitting the engine back on this. I find sometimes I get caught out with the sump leaking. So one of the ways I get around that is just never let the weight of the engine sit back on it. So I'm going to lower it down and just let it sit on this block like it was before. Now look, that's the end of the day for me. That engine's not sitting on that sump, so I'm happy with that. And I'm going to get busy and crack on in the morning.